Hello, Sye Rodriguez. Are vegans or vegetarians orthorexic? Do they have an eating disorder called orthorexia? Now, I recently received an email from a friend of mine just talking about orthorexia as a serious condition where people become obsessed with eating healthy. Now, I've been hearing about orthorexia for a really long time now because I've been very interested in health for a long time, so every once in a while I have come across an article or heard a person speak of orthorexia, and usually in the way that they are targeting people who basically eat healthy, saying that it's unhealthy to be obsessed with health. Now, also recently, ironically, I saw that Freelee made a video about orthorexia, and then she had a follow-up video where she actually was on TV interviewing with somebody about this, and it's kind of hit the mainstream. And the worst thing about this is that it's out of context compared to what the original author, Bratman, the person who coined the term orthorexia, meant when he diagnosed or made this term up to diagnose or create a type of eating disorder that he could classify people into. Now, that being said, Bratman does say that he does not believe that people being vegan or vegetarian are orthorexic. So, for whoever out there would want to believe that just because somebody follows a vegan diet or a strict vegetarian diet that they are orthorexic, your fire is gone, because he is not saying that at all. And he emphatically says that on his website, that orthorexia is not about being healthy. It's not really even an obsession with being healthy. It's about specific ways of obsessing over health that are unhealthy. So, that being said, I like the way that Freelee addressed people who usually come to people like me or other people who are health-minded people and are concerned about them because they are eating healthy, and it seems to those people that they are living some sort of unenjoyable life because they're not indulging in all of the sad American diet types of indulgences. And it's almost amusing, but sometimes maddening, to hear people who are very unhealthy, who have basically just eat whatever they want to eat and basically have no health, or at least don't have good health, come and say to somebody who is a health advocate and who follows to the best of their ability what they have learned about health and is constantly learning about that subject, it can be maddening to hear somebody say, "Oh, maybe you have orthorexia," or "We're concerned about you." It's interesting how much the mainstream media has hijacked this word, and now they're using it to defend a way of life that is very bad for people. And the example that Freelee used that I liked is about, if you were to take a cow and just feed it cakes and ice cream and whatever that the standard American eats and expect it to be healthy, that would really seem absurd, because you would know that it would not be good for the cow, because the cow has a specific diet that is what the cow is meant to eat, that is optimal for the cow. Now, that being said, I know that most cows are fed corn as opposed to grass these days, but you get the point, I'm sure. So, there is a specific way that humans are meant to eat. I don't know exactly what that way is, but I do the best I can to learn what I can through practical experience and through reading what really is healthful. And I have obsessed over this, and I am obsessive about eating healthy to the point that under no circumstances ever will I eat a piece of meat just because somebody offers it to me and I don't want to offend them. To me, there's just no way that I could do that. I would basically have to crack somehow to believe that it was okay for me to put an animal in my body, because I don't believe that animals are food, and they're not food for humans, at least. I don't believe it. And I could be wrong, but what I'm saying is that I'm not orthorexic because I won't do that. And that is something that, whether you're vegan, vegetarian, or not, you should be aware that the term orthorexia that people are throwing around loosely doesn't make you orthorexic if you are obsessive about health in a healthful sort of way. Now, all of this being said, I read so much on this subject that I really have to be honest. I do think that people can have an unhealthy obsession with ways of eating and with dogmas about food. And that can be for people who are vegan or for people who are paleo or whatever. It's basically when you say that, okay, the only way I'm going to eat from now on is this. And it's so strict that it limits you from having things that might be good for you. For example, the natural hygiene diet, which basically was all about eating only fresh fruits and vegetables, and even to the degree that you could not have any kind of supplements because everything you need comes from food. Now, B12 is something that not only herbivores but most omnivores are deficient in. So it's a wise choice to supplement with B12 no matter who you are. And that being said, it's not really that eating only fresh fruits and vegetables is bad, because for the most part that is good, but becoming so obsessed by that that you can't even believe that maybe some cooked food is okay or good for you, now that is possibly something that could lead to an unhealthy obsession with food. And I think many people go through those phases, as I did go through that phase and many other phases in my search for optimal health. And I believed at different times that, oh, I will never eat cooked food again ever in my life. And now I eat a lot of cooked food. I also eat a lot of fresh food, but I still am vegan for multiple reasons, or maybe a couple of good reasons. One, because I believe that it's a healthful way to eat. Two, I just can't imagine to eat animals anymore. And maybe that will change someday, but like I said, there would have to be something that seriously snapped inside of me to make me feel that way. So for somebody to say, oh, you should just be able to eat a hot dog whenever you want to, I'm sorry, but that is absolutely ridiculous to think that a vegan or a vegetarian is going to just eat a hot dog because that would make them not obsessed with food. That's ridiculous. Also, in our world, people should probably be more on the side of people who are obsessive about health, because we have gone to the extreme degree in the other direction, where we put whatever kind of man-made junk into our bodies that is not good for us, and to the point that it has become pretty much a way of life, that we eat food that is not even close to its natural state. And I eat foods that are not in their natural state. I eat lollipops sometimes. In fact, I'll show you one right here. One of my children gave me. It's an organic lollipop. And is this 100% good for me? I don't think it's necessarily the best food in the world, but it's certainly better than a lot of other things. And not only that, it shows that, I can eat something that is not perfect. But I mean, when your life becomes about eating only food that is processed and has chemicals and additives and preservatives and hormones and whatever kinds of artificial this or artificial that, and we think that that is healthful, and that having an obsession with eating healthy is unhealthful, then something's wrong. And I wanted to address this, and I also just wanted to make it very clear that if you read what Dr. Bratman has to say on his website about orthorexia, then you will definitely know that he is not accusing vegans and vegetarians of being orthorexic. The sad thing is that it's very easy for people to take the information that he has put out there and make it look like that is what it's about. And ultimately, orthorexia, that term, is being used by a lot of people who don't have any idea what they are talking about, and they're worrying and concerning themselves with people who are eating healthy when they in fact might be able to learn something from those people. So keep reading, keep learning, question all of the things, even your own convictions about health, and you're going to be okay. So thanks so much for watching, and I look forward to see you in the next video.